Now, you can't be serious. What about $5,000? If I told you the property could be sold today through government land foreclosures and tax deed sales for $5,000, probably just rip it out and pay for it right at the spot. I'm not telling you any of that. Based on what we're able to do, your price on this property through us, $3,050. Now, that's not the down payment. This is the power of government foreclosures and tax deed lands. This is the entire purchase price. Now, I know what you're thinking, because I thought it too when I first found out that I could do this. How many of you are saying, this is too good to be true right now? Now, do you remember at the first of the call when I talked a little bit about my banking experience? Well, there's a reason why even now, during the worst downtimes of at least my lifetime, that I'm still getting headhunters and operational manager calls with job offers. Because I think untraditionally, and that's just how my brain's programmed, I have to look at things untraditionally in order for it to make sense. But I'm really good at figuring out systems and processes that decrease our costs and maximize our revenues. See, the reason why I haven't taken the six-figure jobs and working for the banks again is because if I did that, all of the profit margins of doing what I'm doing now would go to them. Instead, I got to create a win-win-win situation. 3 wins, and let me explain. First, obviously, I'm going to win. I'm buying the property, and I'm going to sell it for a small margin. Secondly, you're going to win because you're buying a property at an amazing discount. And lastly, we have to think about the county. How many counties in America right now are wondering how many jobs, how many people they're going to have to lay off this year because of stimulus money isn't around? And next year, it's going to be the rainy day funds that they're kicking into. They're wondering how many people, how many jobs do I have to lay off because of the amount of people that haven't paid property taxes in 10 or 15 years, and the number's growing. So when I buy these properties, we go in, we negotiate the back taxes, percentage of it, and I agree. From today on, I'm going to pay these taxes so that you can in turn use the revenue to keep your employees on, pave the roads, whatever it is that you need to take care of. And in turn, when you buy the property from me, you're going to pay the taxes so that we can now keep that money in-house instead of continually borrowing money from outside of the country. So it is truly a win-win-win. Let me show you another property. Fairfield Bay, Arkansas. Fairfield Bay is about 65 minutes outside of or north of Little Rock, Arkansas. This has 2 championship golf courses on it. It sits on Geary's Lake, which is an absolutely beautiful, pristine, man-made lake. You're seeing some of the photos from it right now. Absolutely beautiful. This has swimming pools, tennis clubs, a full-service marina. It's deep enough that if you want to go scuba diving, you can. Fitness centers. And did I mention 2 championship golf courses? What if I was also to tell you that in 2006, a company called Chesapeake Energy started into an agreement because they had done some exploratory mining operations, and they found out that there were natural gas that was deep underneath the property in the region. And immediately in 2006, the county came in and they passed a no drilling ban. Said absolutely no drilling in this county. And they didn't do it because they didn't want it. They did it because they didn't have the regulations in place and the systems and the processes in place to accurately control a mining operation. Because it's natural gas, they're sticking a pipe, they're drilling way underneath the ground, strip or coal. So they immediately passed this. And in 2009, late 2009, they had then passed the legislation that they needed to regulate it. So Chesapeake Energy signing bonus to the community club, which is also the homeowners association, that they would agree to pay them $1.5 million. Now, why is that important for the area? First, the regulations require that this isn't some 5-foot, 100-pole going into the sky operation. This is beautiful country, so you can barely see it, if at all. And they'll have to clean up and make sure that everything's done when they're done. But why is that important? Well, first, Wyndham Property Management they own some timeshares, like condos in the area, but there's no hotels. So the homeowners association doesn't have the ability for people to come in and stay. See how beautiful it is, buy the property, fall in love with it. If you want to do that, you have to rent through a timeshare. It's extremely important for them to be able to put up a hotel in order just to bring in new blood and bring in new potential buyers. So spending the first $500,000 just on that. The additional balance comes in over time. I think it's $250,000 a year. And they're putting all that money back into the community because it's owned by the homeowners association. Well, on top of that, they receive royalties. These royalties could be estimated at tens of millions of dollars, all which has to come in and go back into the property or go back into the area and the subdivision. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, you're probably never going to see these properties come up on tax sale again. In fact, we only have a couple of them left because of the recent news and events that are happening. So what would you expect to pay? Now, we'll go through the whole thing again. What would you expect to pay for a property in this area with those kinds of upcoming amenities? You see, I actually have a property located right where that pin drop is. This is right across from the lake, a stone's throw. What would you expect to pay for a waterfront property with those kinds of amenities? You can see here all the roads, homes. These are private marinas, full-service marina. I mean, this is a beautiful area. Well, your price, $3,550. Well, let me share with you a few examples of people that have actually purchased and what they've done since then. Max Kim, he's the president and owner of Avalar, Southern California Avalar in, obviously, Southern California. Max picked up a property from us, sent his own appraiser out. His own appraiser valued his property at $40,000. I'm not guaranteeing those kinds of results for anybody, but that is results that happened for him. How about Vicki Eakins, who's my mom? We purchased 3 properties located in Kansas, and we're now positioned to return or recover 85% of her losses from her retirement of funds when she's ready to retire. All the losses from her 401ks. Chip Nguyen purchased one of our properties in Michigan for $3,000. Within a couple of weeks, people from his own network had loved the property so much they offered him $10,000 for it. $10,000, he could have made over a 300% return, and he turned it down. He wants that property. Now let me show you, once you get to our website, how to physically read what it is that we're offering. How do you choose a property? Well, after you've gone to the buy land section and you choose on a physical property, this is how the property listings pull up. You're going to see the basic information here, and basic is the address, the parcel ID, the legal description. On the right-hand side, you're going to see the photos. Now, if you click here, it's going to expand and pull out. It's going to show you the 2538, that's my internal tracking number. The little pin drop is where the property is located. This property is located right across from the lake. I don't have this property anymore. We actually just barely sold it. But this was after I was putting together this presentation. Right across. So you'd click and close and you do it, go through all of the other photos that you want to see. Down here, you're going to see subdivision and property details. If you click on one of those, it'll expand and it'll show you all the information that we have about the property, about the subdivision, its amenities. Click on it again, it's going to pull up. Same for the homeowners association, the county information, the demographics. Now, up at the very top on the left-hand side, which is probably where you looked first, you're going to see the purchase price. Somebody actually bought this property for $3,225. This is 1/3 of an acre with a lake view. Right below that, you're going to find our financing options. Now, I guarantee everybody that watches this, you will be able to be financed. This is what we require. Of any property, we're going to require 20% down. We're going to charge a $99 processing fee, and I will finance the balance for you guaranteed. I don't care about credit. I don't care about your loan application and job history. You just need to be able to pay for the property. And here are my terms. You're going to see a 2, a 3, a 4-year option. This is the length of time it will take from the time we start till you pay that property off and you own that deed free and clear. So if you want a 2-year, program, you will pay it off in 2 years. And if you choose the 2-year program, I will do it at 0% interest rate. 0%. Well, there you're going to see what your monthly payments are going to be. So if you wanted a 2-year at 0% interest and it was that property, you'd pay $147 a month to have an amazing investment property paid for free and clear inside 2 years. If you want it to be less than that, you'd go with the 4-year, which comes with a low interest rate.